I wanted to point out some visual patterns that you can see when you make models of the scales and modes of Western music. The modes and scales in Western music are Greek names. I don't particularly like modes a lot. I really do. It's just a mnemonic device. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. The first thing is seeing how easy it is to play all these complicated scales on a piano with only the white keys, no sharps or flat on the black keys are necessary. So starting on C, play 8 ascending notes, and that's the major scale, or the Ionian. This is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. B, I can do do, re, mi, but it's all that other stuff that's too hard and complex. But remember, you can do all the scales from just the white keys. So how do you do that? As you keep on going up the keys, playing 8 notes from the D, the E, then the F, each letter corresponds with all the modes that we just mentioned. From the early days of computers, the computers were designed to read input information from holes punched in cards. So inspired by this idea, I decided to put the modes and scales down on paper to see what it would show visually. What you're looking at is a 13-point star with all the notes, that is all the notes on the piano from the white keys and the black keys for an entire octaves. And that's all there are, because after that, the notes just repeat. So the whole notes are represented by the letters from A through G, and those are the white keys on a piano. The half steps all have the letters with sharps and flats, and these represent the black keys on a piano. Next, I punched holes in 7 different pieces of paper, each one representing each of the modes. Each of the mode is unique, identified by intervals, the distance in half or whole steps between each note in the scale. At the top position of our model, this is the root note of the scale. Each of the windows cut into the mode sheet represents the note being played. In our example, we're sticking with C. So the first mode, the Ionian in the key of C, shows that all the letters are without sharps or flats, and this is the major scale. And each of these rays darting from the middle of this circle are equal distances. So even though the model is based upon C, you can also turn it around to other locations, other notes, and it's still going to be the correct notes for that major scale to whichever note is at the top. For example, if you use the same sheet and put G at the top, you would find that you would have the 1 sharp, the F sharp, and each note of the major scale fits the template. The same works for every mode, whether Dorian, Mixolydian, and all the others. We started with the major scale, the Ionian, and you see the pattern? Each time one of the windows has a letter in between it, that's a whole step. If it's right beside another window, that's a half step. And there is a self-similarity pattern with each of these scales. You can see that when you stack up all the scales. You can line up the shape until all are stacked up with the shape that you can see through each of the windows. Another observation is that with 6 of the 7 modes, they all have a window showing with the 1st and the 5th notes. This shows how important the 1 and the 5 are in music. The only exception is the Locrian mode, and if you dig into that very much, you'll learn that it is the most rarely used mode, and it's kind of the weirdest sounding of them all.